For those that know me, I don't usually read. However, I also don't trust Bonnie Crombie, so today I wrote everything out and I'm going to read it so that there is no confusion at all. So, let me get the cheaters out. Today, I am compelled to be here to speak about some grave concerns that I have regarding the future of this city. I entered the Mississauga mayoral race because I was concerned about my home, my community, and my city. I have concerns about our growing debt, our transit problems, and the lack of inclusiveness in our diverse city. And let us not forget the mounting social issues such as poverty, homelessness, and unemployment that must be addressed. I did not enter this race for what I may gain personally. I want to be very clear on this because after today, I have no doubt that Bonnie and her supporters are going to start talking about a deal or deals being made. I assure you all now, there is no deal. I have been offered nothing. I was not asked to be here. I am here because I asked to be here. I also want everyone to understand that I actually have a very good job and work with a fantastic group of people that I would dearly miss working with should I ever leave the company. I've been with the same company for more than 25 years. I'm respected, treated very well, and I'm actually paid well for my contributions. I am certain by now that most of everybody watching, and I know everybody here is, aware that Hazel McCallion has broken her word to us and has in essence endorsed Bonnie Crombie. Prior to Hazel's blessing on Bonnie, Steve Mahoney was clearly the people's choice, dominating in the polls. One of the things leaders must be able to do is look at a situation honestly and with an open mind. They must then draw conclusions based on facts and the data in front of them. Based on the data and facts in front of me, even though people tell me that support is growing for me, the facts and the data just does not support the conclusion, and with the election just 1 week away, I'm gravely concerned with an outcome that sees Bonnie Crombie as Mayor of Mississauga. As I've always stated, I entered this race because I am concerned about our city, and in Mississauga with Bonnie Crombie as its leader will be a city in trouble and in chaos. Let me explain why. Let's start with little things. As you may or may not be aware, I am a veteran of the Canadian Armed Forces. As I was examining people that entered the mayoral race, like most others, I started checking them out. I saw that Bonnie joined the Royal Canadian Legion. I thought, good on Bonnie, supporting veterans and the men and women that stand and have stood up in defense of this great country of ours. Then I saw that she charged her very meager membership fee back to the taxpayers. No. I was disgusted by this. Just because something may be legal or allowed doesn't make it morally right. It's still wrong. This was my first insight into Bonnie Crombie as a person. Then I started going to debates. Have you seen her behavior? Yeah. She is unprofessional, disrespectful, rude, and at times discriminatory. Ask yourself this: why hasn't a single sitting councillor publicly endorsed Bonnie Crombie? Why? When not one of your co-workers will speak up for you or endorse you, something is seriously wrong. It is no wonder that Bonnie Crombie is publicly endorsing candidates in opposition to incumbents. Yes. And people want to talk about deals. What is Bonnie offering them? She wants a slate that she can control and manipulate because she can't get away with that with the current sitting councillors. The other issue here is that if there are any problems with current councillors, and that she clearly now is trying to oust, why didn't she do her job and bring this to our attention long ago? If you're working with people that are doing a bad job, you represent us. It's your responsibility to bring this forward, not wait until an election. Talk about a false agenda and being two-faced. Next issue, what happens if she does win? She clearly doesn't play well in the sandbox, and as you all know, most incumbents are probably going to win again. Can you imagine the chaos of a council that is united against the mayor? Does Rob Ford come to mind? All Bonnie's visions and ideas are meaningless if she doesn't have the ability to gain consensus. Now some serious issues. Let's look at what may be viewed as derogatory or discriminatory behavior. Recently, live on CP24, Bonnie, in usual fashion, decided to make a ridiculous comment rather than use intellect and logic to win a point. She looked at Mr. Mahoney, she put her hand gently on his shoulder and said, and I'm paraphrasing here, in her usual condescending elitist manner, "Oh, Steve, we need a generational change." As someone that works in and investigates human rights violations in the workplace, I was astounded and disgusted at this comment. Bonnie, that comment is classic ageism and discrimination based on age. But
She's 20 or what?
What? Hang on, let's talk about it. I understand, Bonnie, that you are 12 or 13 years younger than Steve Mahoney. I do believe, Bonnie, that you and I are about the same age. I hate to tell you, Bonnie, but you and I are part of Mr. Mahoney's generation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's not also forget the fact that Hazel is 26 years older than Steve. If Steve wins the election, it will be a generational change. Last week, Bonnie bailed on several debates. On October 9th, Bonnie Crombie withdrew from Wednesday's Voice of Mississauga mayoral debate, even though 1 month prior to this she had confirmed attendance. Social media and the organizers were not at all happy with this. It is stated that several hundred people had planned on attending, and the event was also being used as a food drive in order to help the needy. Mr. Mahoney, then dealing with his gravely ill mother, who was now on her deathbed, was forced to withdraw. With both frontrunners, as I said, I'm reading, now not able to attend, the organizers pulled the plug on the event. Much to Bonnie's dismay, people were still blaming her. On October 12th, Bonnie, being upset and being blamed for the cancellation of the debate, sent me a direct message that said, and I quote, "Interesting, I am getting the blame for the cancellation of this debate. Steve did too. We had a Muslim debate yesterday." I was in shock at the racially motivated comment. I could not believe that a mayoral candidate and current councillor would make such a comment, especially with the word Muslim in quotations. I personally did not view the Wednesday night debate as Muslim, but merely as a debate that was clearly being marketed as representative of all wards and all people. I can only surmise that as one of the main organizers of the debate, Tahir Qureshi, who is here today, is either Muslim, which I've discovered he is, I had no idea, because it doesn't matter to me, which Bonnie is aware of, or that based on the color of his skin or his name, she viewed the debate as a Muslim debate, which I had not been made aware that it was. A screenshot of this direct message from Bonnie's Twitter account, which she claims she manages herself, is available to anybody who wants it.
Shame, shame, shame.
You can imagine that at this point, any respect that I did have for Ms. Crombie was now completely eroded, and I simply did not respond to her. Friday night, we had another debate that many mayoral candidates, including Bonnie, were invited to. The debate was Black community specific and advertised as such. It is important to mention that this was the second Black community specific event debate that we had all been invited to. I need a drink. Thank you. The first event, Mr. Mahoney had to send his regrets at being unable to attend. Again, this was a result of family events that we are now fully aware of. And the organizers of the event made us aware of Mr. Mahoney's situation. So he had contacted them and gave his regrets. When we asked about Bonnie, the reply was simply that they did not know, as she just simply had not replied to them. By now, most of you are aware of what happened Friday night when I took it upon myself to defend Mr. Mahoney after Bonnie Crombie's insulting and ridiculous statement was read out because she was not there. In her statement, Bonnie attempted to lie about not knowing Mr. Mahoney was going to be attending the debate when yet others of us knew full well that Mr. Mahoney would be in attendance at that debate. Where was she? This was the second black-specific event that Bonnie Crombie deliberately chose not to attend. Ms. Crombie seems to forget, though, that the issue is not about whether or not Mr. Mahoney is at the debate table or not. The issue is about the fact that twice now the black community has asked Bonnie Crombie to attend a debate so that questions could be put to her so that they could make an informed decision about who they could vote for as mayor of this city. And twice now, they feel that they have been snubbed by her. I'm telling you now, Bonnie, if you don't think people are upset by this, you're deluding yourself.
Yeah.
Lastly, I want to talk about the Ward 5 debate last week. Again, Bonnie did not come or attend this debate either. Council candidate after candidate stood up and highlighted all that was wrong with the ward. Citizen after citizen spoke about and highlighted what was wrong with the ward. The general consensus was that Ward 5 is neglected and forgotten about. I was astounded yet again. Bonnie Crombie, Ward 5 councillor and mayoral candidate, is being accused of not representing her ward properly, and she wasn't there to address the issues. Then again, she also wasn't there to face the wrath. As you can see, there is no way that we can allow Bonnie Crombie to become the mayor of this city. As the data shows that I am most likely at this time, I cannot win this election. It is now important that we strategically ensure that someone like Bonnie Crombie does not become the mayor of Mississauga. As such, I am asking all those that have thrown their support behind me on October 27th to vote for Steve Mahoney. Mr. Mahoney, over the past several weeks, has earned my respect. He's done nothing but treat me with respect, and I believe he is the best hope to stop Bonnie Crombie.